Hello, creatives. On Wednesday, March the 3rd, 2022. Really interesting. I was sitting out there in beautiful, sunny Florida, beautiful Space Coast, and today the winds were like ballistic. It was like literally, the typical Florida weather that you get when you're close to the water, and the winds were they were unbelievable. So I was sitting outside, and this fell from a tree. I don't know if you would call this a twig or I think some sort of a leaf, part of a leaf. And I started to think about what is nature, right? Nature, what puts nature together? What's the glue that glues nature together? And I started thinking about how would I it wasn't intentional. I was just looking at it while I was having coffee, and it's pretty cool. It goes like this, da 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 da. And I said, it's interesting how when it falls, it's literally like that, and then it kind of like, obviously it dries up a little bit and it starts splitting, and then it starts it's flexible, and then you can do that and really stretch it out. So I said the theme of my drawing is, once again, with the subject, which is the model, and the artist, and we're using a creative imagination structuralism. I'm Carl Gustav Jung, creative imagination, where we learn to concentrate the mind. Concentration grows the mind. We learn to study our dreams. We learn to create an artifact on paper. The artifact on paper will let the subconscious mind speaks. Like this, for example, sitting and boom, falls on my lap. Now, yesterday was really weird. I was sitting, and a piece of right out there in the yard. There's no one around. There's just flowers. This was really weird. There's flowers. I had sweatpants on, and all of a sudden I look at my thigh, and a piece of hair about this long. So I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I would say like 9 inches was on my lap, and the hair was blonde. And I looked at it. I analyzed it, and I put it on the table, and I continued looking at it. And I looked around. I'm sitting out there on a chair, a table, little tiny table where you can put literally, a coffee. It's a coffee table. It's literally a coffee table. So where you can drink coffee and have small breakfast. And I analyzed the hair. I put it on top of the table. It's a glass table, black glass table, and I'm looking at it. And then the wind comes and takes the hair. And here I go again, or here we go again, or what is the messages that Jung would say? What is the synchronicity with this stuff? That a hair falls on my lap and is blonde from the subject, the model that's being utilized for these analytical drawings to figure out the dynamics between the anima and the animus, the dynamics between a romantic relationship, the dynamics between a muse, a person that really rocks your boat sexually, intellectually. You're kindred. You're spiritually connected at a particle level. These relationships are very, very intrinsic. They're the subject matter for artists like Picasso, artists like Francis Bacon, artists like Amadeo Modigliani, artists that have used pain and suffering to sublimate and create what we would say masterpieces, art. By the way, the whole concept of a masterpiece is very subjective. We can all make a masterpiece. The masterpiece is when we come to terms and we let it go and we see it for what it is, and it blossoms like nature into something that is spectacular, that you're able to sublimate and something came out of that. A child can be a masterpiece. An animal can be a masterpiece. An artifact can be a masterpiece. Baking a cake can be a masterpiece. So anyway, going back to this twig, and this was the area that really had a lot of leverage for me. A lot of rich symbolism. Had a lot of the glue that glues these two pieces together, and they're unified. They're literally they're interconnected. They're interconnected. They're now they're starting to open up because they're getting drier. So when we meet a relationship, when we meet someone here at this particle level here, I call it particle level. Why not? We can do anything in a drawing. We can draw the universe. We can literally unify the field theory of the universe in quantum mechanics through a drawing. I did a book on that. Whoopsie, I'm not pushing it. I'm not. So anyway, I take that back. But the fact is that here is the core. Look how interesting. I didn't take this into consideration. How I was able to get the metric of the twig. Lord have mercy. I just went outside and I got it. So anyway, the twig. So when we start a relationship, we start here. This is where kindred spirits, they meet. Here where you can formulate tremendous chemistry with the anima, the animas. I'm using animas. It could be male and male, female and female. It doesn't matter, because energies, if we are calibrated within our own intrinsic self, our anima and animas are symmetrical rather than being asymmetrical. And according to Jung, Carl Gustav Jung, we have the ego, we have the subconscious mind, which is interconnected with the conscious mind. That's the collective. Then we go all the way out here. That's the collective unconscious. But when we navigate the structuralism of the ego, we have to go through. It's almost like a scaffold, and you get here to the anima, to the animas. This is an area that we, doing work, and doing shadow work. Shadow work, very important. Doing shadow work. I mean, shadow work, working with all our insecurities, trauma when we were kids, our fear factors, our Jekyll and Hyde, when we hate someone, where, that's the shadow work we do. When we come here towards anima and animas, that's, according to Jung, that's where you find your archetypes. Oh, here, I have the shadow here. How about that? I have the shadow here. You find the shadow, you find yourself, you find your archetypes. The archetypes. Interesting enough. Now, talking about archetype, I own a head made out of concrete, out of Julius Caesar. And I think it's hilarious. And I put it out in the yard and all that. And I didn't think of that until now. It's just a head. No torso, no shoulders, just literally a head sitting on a base. Okay? So what happens is, relationships, when they start and they're kindred, and their possibility of being soulmate, we're at this level. And then they start opening apart, which is healthy, because you can only last as nature so long being like that, because the tendency it opens up is it's natural, and the relationship starts opening up here, and this is very healthy here, because here you start having the ability to be, this goes here, let's say me, and this person goes here. We have the ability to create our sense of being and values and all that, and the person has their values, and we have a symmetrical approach to starting to develop trust, because now we realize that we're not just one twig. We have the core here. We're interconnected with this incredible energy to put us together, and now we're starting to develop an identity within the relationship. And we were established this organic reality that we were interconnected, interlaced with this incredible luminosity called electromagnetism, called quantum mechanics, called the universe. We're universal beings, we're kindred spirit, we're soulmates. This is established forever. Unless we fuck it up. Okay? And I'm going to get to fucking it up. We humans are masters at that, destroying everything. Look at all the wars we're having, da-da-da-da, possibility nuclear, da-da-da-da, it's all there. We're great architects of creating stuff, and we have an incredible ability. As much as we create, we can sabotage and destroy. The yin and yang, the Jekyll and Hyde, the dark, the light, fire and ice, all that stuff, we're capable of that, part of nature. So when a relationship starts opening up here, this is healthy, and then it starts opening up more. Now, when there's a gap at this level, that it gets like that, it starts opening up like that. It gets harder, because the tendency is that it starts getting, if it has a tendency to go like this, and you maintain the symmetry of the geometry, of the behavior, and the sensibility of the relationship, and the boundaries of the relationship, and there is trust, yeah, you can literally take off, where this person can be in India, and you can be in the Bahamas, but you're highly interconnected here. Okay, this is the magic here. I hope we can see this here. Yeah, the tripod is in the middle, but okay, very important. So this electromagnetic energy, which is the how the relationship blossom. Now it's starting to blossom almost like an atomic bomb. If we can control, not control by being narcissists, not control by being controlling freaks, not controlling by controlling the dynamics through trust, through intimacy, through emotions, very important to be assured of the emotions, because body and mind and soul are interconnected with body, the physicality of the body. The mind is how we connect with each other. And then that mind triggers to emotions. How do we trust each other with our emotions? And the emotions and feelings, they have to be reciprocal. Now, what happens here, when it goes now this way, that it completely opens up, and now it's at this level, now we have a displacement. Where the person gets more distance. Yeah, this here is important. This is always going to be the core of where all the coordinate systems are. that puts all this electromagnetism, that puts all the dynamic of the relationship and life itself. This is very important that we keep this alive, no matter how much it stretches out. The focus is here. Okay? Okay, I'm going to find solutions pictorially from an artist's perspective of representation from a psychological, analytical structuralism. Okay? I'm not inventing words here. This is quantum mechanics. This is geometry. This is analytical geometry. We do live in a three-dimensional reality where we can measure the three-dimensional world. We have windows and doors and rooms. We can measure almost the range of motion that we have with the partner, with the muse, the artist, and the model. So what we have here is something really interesting that now I'm going to bring it down to the personal. I saw this person from 2020, oh, look how interesting, 2020, 2021, in 2022, right around this time, February, the month of, Easter, I mean, the season of Easter, I get highly telepathy, right. And I also develop a high sense of extrasensory perception, ESP, around this time, since I was a child. I got it. I started getting this like around 9 years old. And I get all these spiritual, and I get, I can literally see through my telepathy what's going on. I can also tap into if somebody is lying. I pick up on those energies. This partner in 2020 started deviating, changed overnight. She met an Australian lady married to this guy. This guy could be a male or female. These are probability factor of intrusions in the relationship. Intrusions into the relationship that affected the relationship. And there was third party, probability factor of third party interconnection. Third party with a probability factor of maybe sexuality, of what I perceived when I was introduced in 2020 to this character, this lady from Australia. Then she set up a dinner, which was very casual and very lovely. During the dinner, the lady from Australia came with her husband with a ponytail, kind of like a hippie guy. And she brought her mother. They were creepy as hell. I felt that they were good people. The mother, now this could be the mother here now, because I feel there's an energy here. The mother's this old hag from Australia, and her had a big impact on her. My partner, an old gal, very successful financially in the entertainment industry, became very enamored with us, and they developed a relationship that was kind of silly, childish, where every time they would get together, they looked like they were in junior high and in New York City, and they would meet, and I had one night we had dinner with her friend and her dog, and that was beyond weird, because I saw her friend like with an animal, some form stuck to her face, like a negative energy, like a really crazy ass energy. And I went and I told my partner, your friend, it's not a good energy, man. It's not a good. There's a bug in here. Oh my god, let me see. Anyway, I just had it in my glasses. The lady had like an animal stuck to her head, to her face, like something, like an octopus, in the shape of that. I mean, these are they're not hallucinations, by the way. They're just forming content that through art and drawing and really looking at things and trying to see the invisible visible, and you get energies. You start seeing people, how they open their eyes and how weird they are, and you can tell that they're hiding something. I also believe that if I was to bring it into the Carl Gustav Jung sensibility of everything that he talks about, symbols, and let's say the tarot and metaphysical, you start processing these energies as karmics. So she got involved with her, and I started seeing from 2020, 2021, and 2022, 2020, 2021, 2022, I started seeing more of a person pushing away, pushing me away, pushing herself away, pushing me away, reducing me, no longer communicating, no longer in any shape or form expressing her emotions. See, I'm getting sun here. Expressing her emotions. Let me close the door for a second and see if it helps. Okay. Anyway, it's coming from. Anyway. Yeah, I think it's better. Okay. Expressing her emotion, hiding, sneaking around, to the point that around 2020, it started affecting me psychologically. It started affecting me in my sleep. It started affecting me in my. There was a gap. Then we had a falling out a month and a half ago, and I felt that she was in a relationship with either a female, a male, or it could be a relationship between her, the mother, the old hag, influencing her for money. She lost a lot of money between 2020 and 2022, tons of money. She's weak. She lets people come in. I have done a lot of work in therapy since 2022. Since 2020. 2000, I'm sorry. 22 years of therapy. What am I saying? 22 years of therapy. Where I have learned to look in the mirror. I have minimized my narcissistic behavior. I would say by 90%. I still have like 10% left that I'm aware of. And I can literally measure it like having gas in a tank. Where I know if the tank is full, it will be full up to here, and then I have a quarter of a tank here, I have half a tank, and then I have 3/4 of a tank. My behavior, I can measure it analytically. I've made my behavior very pragmatic, very practical. I don't know, let's see. Yeah, I opened the door again. I'm having a hard time with this light here. Let me see something. Anyway, it's the nature of, here we go. It's the nature of nature. May there be light. Light is here. So anyway, the most important thing we can do through creative imagination is to really open our eyes. Artistically, understand that the most important thing that we must keep, even if we're with a narcissist, and the narcissist has a third party. We've been completely disregarded, where I'm literally just a head, an object, an option, no more body to her. But the most important thing is to realize that if you can maintain through work this here, and really keep your distance, keep your space, understand that if you give space and you maintain this fresh, this could stretch out. This could stretch out. But you never want this to happen, because then, done. It could stretch out, but you can never let this happen. Because this goes this way, this goes that way, for eternity at a quantum mechanics level. Meaning one electron went this way, the other electron went out that way, they left the shell, they left the orbit, they left the nucleus, they got the fuck out of the atom. Okay? It could happen in subatomic particles, it can happen with electrons, it could happen where an electron can even make a decision to commit suicide and just leave to a parallel universe. Space-time. There's no past, present, or future in quantum mechanics. They can navigate anywhere. We want to make sure that through proper behavior, meaning not freaking out, not snapping at her, not going after her friends, if you're able to get out, artists go out with a bleeding heart, with a broken heart. What do? They go out, and what do? They create a masterpiece that you can hang on a wall and be proud of it. That's what Picasso does. That's what Francis Bacon, the painter, does. That's what Henri Matisse, all the great artists, they were able to sublimate something that most can't do something with the pain, maintain this here. This is the muse. This goes with you, even if you're in a narcissistic relationship and it breaks and it's severed. But you must have the power, not letting her know that you're going to maintain this part fresh, alive for eternity. Even if this gets, you got to keep this flexible. And how do you keep it flexible? By removing yourself from ego, right? Here we go again. Here we go back. Removing yourself from ego, activating your subconscious mind, and your conscious mind being aware of your behavior, being aware of your geometry, being aware of your gas tank, making sure you don't freak out, you don't go back and haunt her and scare the shit out of her and become a dangerous person. This is what they want, these people. They want these people, these morons here, these karmics, these a witch and a warlock and the mother, the old fart. What they want is this crazy guy to come here and say, oh my God, he's such a dangerous guy. What a crazy guy he is. He was a narcissist. So what do? You pull out. You pull out with grace. You pull out poetically. You shut the fuck up and you move out and you go out and create. Let time go by, because you know what? She can start a relationship. That relationship is broken. Broken because this is still established here. This is the core. This is the core that maintains the atom. This is the nucleus. That's fresh. Whatever she does, third party, a younger guy, her boy, a triangle with her husband, whatever they do, that's broken already. That's not going to work because this was established through the power of the universe and through the power of love. Thank you for watching. God bless. Peace out. Keep safe. Create a drawing a day. Bring out the child in you. Thank you.